Hello, I'm Jeffrey Burch, and over the last 15 years, I've made a lot of study of synovial membranes in the human body, joint capsules, bursas, and tendon sheaths. They develop adhesions all the time. Oh my gosh. And so I've worked out ways of assessing for that, where the glide is and where the glide isn't. And then some very efficient means for restoring that glide. The improvement in mobility in the body is big. Let's take a look, particularly right now, at Bursas. And Damien here is here to help me with. I'm going to take a look at her hip joints. You're accustomed to the idea that there's some bursas over the hip, over the greater trochanter out here. Actually, there are 3 over there. And then there are 6 more bursas, a total of 9 bursas associated with the hip. We'll have some fun. Here we go. All right, I'm going to get a hold, Damien, I'm going to get a hold of your right knee at the top of your pelvis to the left, and let's try a rotation here. It goes that far. This way goes less far. Let's take a look at that for the left hip. And this hip goes less far each way. I'm confident there are interesting things we can find with bursas here. Damien, come lie on your back on the table. All right, let's take a look at the same roll here on the table. So rolling in about that far, rolling out, a little less. What about this one over here? Roll, not so much. Roll, not so much. Let's see if we can improve that by working with bursas. There could be other issues such as joint capsule, but we're talking about bursas at the moment. Let's see. As I mentioned, over the greater trochanter here, there are actually 3 bursas stacked in there. So let's take a look at this outermost bursa. Are you gliding freely inside? No. Okay, so let's get this one gliding again. Thank you. You see it moves a little better. What about the second layer in, the second bursa? This one is stuck together kind of in the anterior half of it. Part of the bursa glides and part does not. There we go, and you can see we have more movement. What about the third one down there? Wahoo, it's actually working well. Well, right around the front, on the front of the greater trochanter, there's one more. How's it doing? Nice and stuck together. So I've got a hold of the outer wall of the bursa. I'm using the leg as a long lever to pull the deeper layer underneath it. Now that works better. Now on the back side of the femur, we've got 2 bursas. They aren't stacked over each other like the ones on the side. One is more superior, the other is inferior. Let's go see how they're doing. And this more superior one, well, that hasn't glided recently. Now it does. What about the one below that? It isn't having any more fun than the one above it was. Actually, it's got even a little bit better glue in it. You never know. When these things are stuck together, it can be sort of the sticky note version or the glue stick version or the white glue version or the epoxy version or who poured the Gorilla Glue in here version. This was kind of the white glue version right there. So you see that rolls better. Okay, that's 7 of the 9 bursas around the hip. Come back up to standing. All right, let's take a look again in this position at rotation in this left hip. Better. And just for reference, let's go look again at the untreated hip, which was a better moving one before. Okay, so there's an example of this work for the bursas. To learn how to do this with the hundreds of bursas, hundreds of tendons, and in the body, and the hundreds of joint capsules, come to the Joint Bursa tendon classes. The next ones are in Boulder, Colorado, and Munich, Germany.